Hello everyone, happy to see you here and really interesting math problem today. We have square root of 5.25 minus square root of 5 and we need to simplify this question. Okay, how can we do this? There are a lot of approaches how can we do this, but the main minus of this question, there is not like a formula to solve it. We need to see a really tricky moment right here. There is no like a formula how can we do this. But I want to show you a really good approach. So if you have a question like that, try to simplify to these two numbers. So the best way to simplify this number, if you're talking about square root or not square root, so over here we don't have square root, so let's try to write this number as a sum or as a difference, yeah? So right here 5.25, this is equal to 5 plus 0.25, yeah? So we can write it in this way. And if you're talking about square root of 5, we cannot write it in another way, but I want to show you a really good trick right here. So we can write it as 2 times 1/2 and times square root of 5, yeah? So don't ask me why I write it like that, but I hope you will understand in the next step why I write this. 2 times 1/2, this is equal to 1, yeah? And right here, this is equal to 5.25. So nothing changed for us, all the same, but right here we write it only in another way. Okay, let's go next. How can we work with this in the next step? Take a look closely. Let's write this 5 as square root of 5 square, yeah? So if we write this, we will have the same 5, so nothing changed for us, but I write it as a square. So if you want to write it as a square, you need to write square root sign. Okay, 0.25. We all know that 0.25, this is look at 5 times 5, but right here we have a decimal, so we need to write it as plus 0.5 square, yeah? So we need to write it in this way. Okay, let's go next. Minus the same 2 times 1/2 and times square root of 5. And a lot of students ask me why I write it like that, why I write it in this way, because right here we have like not a huge expression, but right here we have like square root, we have square, we have a product, so they ask me why I write it like that. And I answer them, take a look closely. A minus b square, formula. How can we write it? As a square plus b square and minus 2ab. This is our formula, and under this expression I write this formula and I ask them, what do you think about this formula? And a lot of students say me that, okay, this is really good because we have a square and right here we have a square, and they goes right here. We have b square, it looks like b square. We have 2, it looks like 2. We have square root of 5 and right here square root of 5 square, so this is our a. And what about b? 0.5 and 1/2. What about these numbers? This is the same because this is like in a fraction way 1/2. This is 0.5 in another way. So this is our b. Right here, b square. And they say, okay, this is really good because we have square root of a minus b square, a square root of 5 minus b equal to 1/2. Or I write it as 0.5 square. And right now we can easily see that this square and this square root sign we can easily cancel, yeah? So let's do this. We will have the next one. We will have right here cancel, right here cancel. As a result, square root of 5 minus 0.5. And I ask my students about this answer. This is like a completely good answer, and they say, okay, this is good, we cancel it, but then I show them that right here we need to find absolute value because we don't know the sign about this expression. For example, this expression is -1. Then we need to put minus before our absolute value or before our parentheses right here, because the formula is next. If we have square root of a square, this is equal to absolute value of a. And this is the formula that we need to know, that we need to remember. Okay, square root of 5 and 0.5. What about this number? This is positive and this is -1. Square root of 5. Okay, square root of 5. What about this number? We know that square root of 4 equal to 2, yeah? And square root of 5 will be greater than 2. So as a result, if we subtract from the number that greater than 2, if we subtract 0.5, we will have a positive. So as a result, we don't need this absolute value, but we need to write it. So plus, right here, square root of 5 minus 0.5. Equal to +1 square root of 5 minus 0.5, yeah? And we have this answer. This is our final answer to this interesting problem. So I hope you enjoy this. If you do, please leave a like, write any comment. If you still have any question, write a question in a comment. Maybe someone solved it in another way, but I hope you understand this approach as well, because I try to solve it step by step with this step right here, and of course with formula, which is really important in our case, because we need to know this formula. If you don't see the formula inside the square root sign, this is impossible like to simplify this. Every question with this type, so simplify square root and inside we have expression, every time you need to see a formula. So a minus b square, this is good. A minus a plus b square, this is really good. You need to solve it step by step, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave a like, write any comment. I really appreciate it, and thank you. See you in the next videos. Have a great day.